It involves over 26 miles of shoreline on our beaches and our bays. It affects every wedding, every corporate event, every family picnic. It's having dramatically negative impact on the tourism in our community, and that's hurting our city. I mean, less tourists means less money in our economy, which means less money for public safety citywide.
Yeah, you'll still be able to buy a beer at the Q, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just another great example. At Charger Stadium before a tailgate, they have more alcohol-related incidents per the population than we've ever had on any of our beaches or bays or parks. And instead of banning alcohol, what they've done is they've cracked down, they've increased fines on the people who cause troubles, and they don't bother with people who want to go to games with their families and their friends and have a good time. And, the ability to have a beer or an adult beverage and enjoy a pleasant environment are not mutually exclusive. It's a false dilemma that's being posed, and you can have both of those, but not if Proposition D passes in November.
I tell people there are a lot of instances in our world today where you see odd confluences. One was when I saw Pat Buchanan and Al Franken both agree about the war. Another here, you're going to have conservatives and liberals come together on this and say, this is too much. We don't want government in our life to this degree. I know how to conduct myself. For those that don't, we already have law enforcement. We already have laws. Let me throw a call in here. Chris, welcome. We got Jacob Pyle and Chip Franklin here. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just think it's all about the revenue. The city's got no money.
Well, it's another way. It's definitely a way of increasing revenue. But at the heart of it is it's politicians responding to the squeaky wheel, the voters who make a lot of noise and say, we're worried about our children down there, and we're becoming a Altamont and Hell's Angels, and all this sort of stuff is going to happen. And of course, nothing could be further away from the truth. Thanks for the call, Chris. Let me ask you a question, Jacob. What do you feel about Sanders' compromise idea about just picking those 3 weekends?
I think it's a great solution. I think it's something that the city of San Diego needs to try before they just pass an overbroad piece of legislation. If your problems occur on weekends when you have a ton of people in town, well, let's deal with those weekends. But, those are weekends when we have a lot of tourists in here, and, let's handle it then. Let's try that and see if that addresses the majority of these issues instead of punishing everybody in San Diego year round.
Yeah, we're looking at about $250,000 the city made up until June 1st. We don't have summer numbers from popping people for these alcohol related instances. Jacob, so you're going to be down the queue on Monday registering voters. Do we have any kind of numbers out there, or is there any sort of polling? Anybody done anything?
Well, as far as I know, other groups haven't done any directed polling on how this vote's going to go. Again, our city said, we're San Diego, we're not Los Angeles, we're not Orange County, and there's a reason that we live here, and that this is the best community and the best city in California, and we live a unique lifestyle down here, and that's why we pay these ridiculous taxes and housing prices to live here, and we're very confident it's going to be defeated twice for a third time. I do want to remind you, we will be down at the Q on Monday night, registering voters before the Chargers beat the Jets and get their first victory of the season. So look out for
actually their second victory.
yeah. Which should be their third victory.
Yeah.
But and you can go to our website noonpropd.org to get more information, and if you want to come down and help us out and help us spread the word, because a lot of people don't even know this is going to be on the ballot, and we just think it's an assault on personal freedom and at the expense of individuals.
Well, send us emails and we'll talk about it again. We'll remind people on Monday, and give us a call next week. Let us know how it went. Okay.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Good luck, Jacob. Again, Jacob Pyle. The group is called noonpropd.org. They'll be at the queue before the game trying to register voters. Again, like I said before, you can be for gay rights and not be gay. You can back Second Amendment rights and not own a gun, which I do. And I believe that I'm a responsible participant in the alcoholic beverage. I don't bother anyone. Don't put your laws on me because you don't have the stones to go after the people who really need to be going after.
sometimes you have to learn to put your head down and be of service.
AM 600 Kogo, San Diego's News and Talk Station. Thought on the booze ban. Let's go to the phones. 800-600 Kogo. Dave, good morning.
Good morning, Chip. Hey, you're picking on one of my favorite topics because this is a prime example of total overreaction by politicians. We don't even need a booze ban on the 3 major holidays because, as you pointed out 20 minutes ago, there are plenty of laws on the books that can be enforced. But all the cops did on those holidays was the moment anybody even looked like they were thinking about breaking one of those laws, they made contact with them, and or if they were really rowdy, just arrested them, whether or not what they did was actually prosecutable or not.
Right, they were protecting the general public, the peace at the time, right?
Right, because I remember, 30 years ago, I went down to Fort Lauderdale for spring break, and I'm sure you're the East Coast, you know what that's like. And all I did was jaywalk, and I had a cop in my face so fast, and he was not being kind, saying, please, sir, don't jaywalk. I was a young punk, college kid. And believe me, I towed the line for the rest of the week I was down there.
You're right. You know what? We could get those cops, the same cops now, to look at it, trying to look into people's paper cups and have them look for the people that are really causing the problems. It's an overreaction, and don't any of these politicians ever refer themselves as a conservative. Thanks for the call, Dave. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yep.
Okay.